Welcome to Shiksharthi. Now the topic is Reminders Part 2. Hope you have seen my first video on Reminders Part 1, where I have discussed the main definition of reminders, algorithm of reminders, possible range of reminders, negative reminders, and the properties of reminders. Now today we'll see how these properties, what are the concepts, how can we work on those concepts, and what are the different type of questions which can come under reminders. So what I do, I'll divide this whole number of examples into types of questions. So various situations, various methods, various things to remember we have to do while doing these questions. So let me start with type 1 questions. And what is type 1 questions? Before that, let us take some general questions also. Yeah. For example, if my question is find the remainder, very basic question I'm starting here, friends. Find the remainder when 4822 into 48, or say 28, 4830 and 4832 divided by 24 if it is given to me. So what will be the remainder? So product of three numbers, I have to divide whole by 24 and get the reminders. So I'm using my third property here. Product of the numbers n1, n2, n3 leaves a remainder of r1, r2, r3. When I'm multiplying the numbers, reminders also gets multiplied. Now what are my observation? My first observation is between these numbers the difference is 2. It's consecutive even numbers we have. So difference is 2. So let us take an advantage of it. If I divide one of the number with 24, what happens? 48 is exactly divisible by 24. 28 divided by 24, remainder will be how much? 4. So 48 divided by 24, that is 4800 divided by 24 is exactly divisible. Remainder will be 0. And remember 28 again divided by 24, the remainder is how much? 4. Now since this number to this number, the difference is 2. This number to this number, the difference also have to be 2. So 4 becomes 6. I don't have to again redivide completely. And here this number to this number, the difference is 2. So here it will be how much? 8. And if you observe for 24, 4, 6 and 28, all three of them are exactly the reminders, possible reminders. Am I right? And again, since this number is definitely going to be above 24, I should divide again this number by 24. And I see 4 into 6 is 24, which gets cancelled, and my ultimate remainder is how much? 8. So that is how this property will work. Okay. Let me take another example on this. Question is find the remainder. Find the remainder when 1 factorial plus 2 factorial plus 3 factorial plus 4 factorial so on up to 50 factorial divide by 28 is the question. 1 factorial, 2 factorial, 3 factorial, 4 factorial so on up to 50 factorial, when exactly divided by 28, what is the remainder? Now I cannot find the value of, I may find initial numbers like 1 factorial, 2 factorial, 3 factorial, 4 factorial, maybe I can manage up to 10 factorial also, but finding up to 50 factorial, adding that numbers and then finding an overall remainder is not a correct method for this, not a correct approach for this. So what I should understand, n1 divided by d, remainder r1, n2 divided by d, remainder r2, n3 divided by 3, remainder r3, remainder r4, and so on up to 50 factorial, I'll get 50 reminders. I'll divide those numbers by 28, and then overall total I'll divide again by 28, and then I'll try to get the answer for this. So let us start dividing one by one. Initial numbers, friends, or let us take initial numbers here. 1 factorial is 1, 2 factorial is how much? It's 2, 2 into 1. 3 factorial, 3 into 2 into 1, which is 6. 4 factorial, 4 into 3 into, this is 24. 5 factorial is 120, 6 factorial is 720, and so on up to 50 factorial. We have to divide it by 28. This is what the question is. Now remainder, if it is, or the divisor, if it is less than remainder, I'll get, like if I am dividing 1 with 28, remainder will be 1 itself. When I divide 2 with 28, remainder will be 2 because n is less than d. 6 divided by 28, remainder will be 6, no problem with it. 24 divided with 28. Again 24 is less than 28. So 24 is the remainder. Now tell me, if 120 is divided by 28, what happens? 128. You know 28 into 4 is 192. Sorry, 112. 112. So 120 divided by 28 leaves remainder 8. 28 multiple is 112, 112. So it leaves remainder 8 if I divide here. And then friends, if you observe the point here, when I say this one is 1 factorial, 2 factorial, 3 factorial, 4 factorial, 5 factorial and 6 factorial. What is if I take 6 factorial? If I take 6 factorial, I'll be getting 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Am I right? So how do I do this, all of you? This one is 5 factorial, 5 actually, 5 here. Now if you observe, if I try to divide this, or if I try to divide this whole number 720, 700 is exactly divisible by 28. Please understand. What is the divisibility rule of 28? It should be divisible by 7 and 4. Any number divisible by 7 and 4 must be divisible by 28. So 700 is a multiple of 7 as well as 4. So up to 720 if I have to divide, till 700. 700 is the number which is exactly divisible by 28. The remainder here will be how much? 20. Now when I say 7 factorial, the next number is 7 factorial, which is 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Now please understand, this number if you observe, it's a multiple of 7 and 4 both. It's a multiple of 7 and 4 both. And any number which is a multiple of 7 and 4 must be exactly divisible by 28. So the next number leaves a remainder 0. This is 6 factorial. 7 factorial is exactly divisible by 28. Hence the remainder is 0. And what about 8 factorial? You tell me what should be 8 factorial then? It should be just another 8 here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. If you observe, this number 8 factorial is also a multiple of 7 and 4. And hence from there 9 factorial, 10 factorial, any number factorial from there will be a multiple of 7 and 4 both. So that means every number from there is a multiple of 28. So from there continuously we will be getting reminders 0. Now here I should remember that my number have to be less than 28. 0 to 27 is my possible remainder. But if you look at this sum, it is definitely going to be more than 28 for sure. So what are the numbers I have? 1 plus 2 plus 6 plus 24 plus 8 plus 20 are the numbers I have. Am I right? So I should divide this total, correct, by 28. Instead of that, what I should do? I should remember remainder is always nothing but what? Surplus value. So wherever you would try to get a total as 28, you can eliminate. Like 20 and 8, 28 is out. You can eliminate that part. And 24 plus another 4 here. From 6 I'll take 4. 24 plus 4 is also 28. Out. Remainder is, what is surplus here? 1 plus 2 plus 2, which is nothing but how much? 5. So the overall remainder for this question is 5. So these are the definite type of questions which will come property based. N1 divided by D, remainder R1, N2 divided by D, remainder R2, N3 divided by D, remainder R3, and some of the numbers will give you some of reminders. So based on that, I got this question. Okay. So let us see some types of questions, friends. I'll divide the whole set of examples into types, which are situation based types, and you need to check the statement before starting any type. So important is to understand the situations. So let's start here. Type 1 questions. What is type 1 questions? Question is find the remainder when a to the power of n is divided by d, where a and d are co-primes. Where a and d are co-primes here. Okay, so if you observe this question, let us see some example. Example 1, friends. My question is find the remainder when 2 to the power of 75 is divided by 7, and you can also see this a and d have to be co-primes. So here 2 and 7 are co-primes. So when I call it as type 1 questions, I can say when I see this number and this number, which is supposed to be A and D, are co-primes. If they are not co-primes, that is another type of question. So if they are co-primes, what I should do is the point. So how to recognize the types? The key points to recognize the types is very important. A and D have to be co-primes is the point. Now how do we divide this question? Imagine 2 power 75 is a huge number. Can I find the value of 2 power 75? And then I should divide it by 7. Is it possible? Divisibility of 7 is also a difficult one to do. Correct? So there are a lot of difficulties here. So by use of property, it is very easy. What is the property I am going to use? First understand that one. If I divide n with d, the remainder is r, and n to the power of k divided by d, remainder will be r to the power of k. So power k, since I have a power here, let me deal in the way of power. So what is the question, friends? 2 to the power of 75 divided by 7 leaves how much as a remainder is the question. So there are two basic approaches for this question. Two basic approaches. One approach is using the property. There is another approach here. Let us see the second approach first. 2 power 1 divided by 7, remainder will be 2. 2 power 2 divided by 7, remainder will be 4. 2 power 3 divided by 7, remainder will be 1. 2 power 4 divided by 7, remainder will be 2. 2 power 5 divided by 7, remainder will be 4. 2 power 6 divided by 7, remainder will be 1, and this continues. And what is my observation? My key observation is on reminders. And look at the reminders, 2, 4, 1, again 2, 4, 1, again 2, 4, 1 in cyclic order. So in this situation, I tried from 2 power 1, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4, 2 power 5, up to 2 power 75. I'll see, is there any cyclic order we have? And I found a cyclic order here. 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1 is a cyclic order here. Am I right? So what I observed, please listen to my words carefully. Whenever the power is a multiple of 3, remainder is 1. Every third multiple or every third power is giving me a remainder as 1. So this is also a multiple of 3. My remainder is definitely 1. That's the idea. So I'll see the cyclicity here starting from power 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. And I cannot go up to 75, but I can generalize. I can observe the cyclic order happening over here. And based on that, I can make some general statement. That is one of the approaches. Is that clear, all of you? Next, if I say next one here, second approach for the same problem. Question is 2 to the power of 75 divided by what? 7. Correct? What I do? 2 power 1 is 2. 2 power 2 is how much? 4. 2 power 3 is how much? 8. 2 power 4 is 16. 2 power 5 is 32. 2 power 6 is 64. 2 power 7 is 128, and so on like that. Correct? And what is your divisor, friends? Divisor is how much? 7. And since divisor is 7, my question is to find reminders. My answer have to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. Correct? Possible reminders from 0 to 6. I cannot have more than 6 here. 0 to 6 is only the possible reminders. So I know my answer very well. It is from 0 to 6. But what exactly is the answer? Let us go by this method. Okay, all of you. So since my divisor is important to know what remainder has to come, divisor is 7. Now tell me which of these numbers is very close to 7. Close to 7 means with a difference of 1 I should take. Like here, I'll select 8. Close to 7, close to divisor. Close in the sense plus 1 minus 1 difference I have to take. Like here, 8 is 7 plus 1. Very close to 7 and I have to take 8. Correct? So my target will be 2 power 3. Now can I write this 75 as 2 power 3 whole to the power of 25 divided by 7 or not? Can I write like that? If you observe it again, my target is to convert into 2 power 3 form. Because 2 power 3, 8. 8 is very close to 7 with a difference of 1. That is important. Now here, and this is something like n divided by d, remainder is r, n to the power of k divided by d, remainder is r to the power of k. So I am applying this here. 8 divided by 7, remainder is 1, and 8 to the power of 25. I'm sorry, this is 8 to the power of 25 divided by d. Answer have to be 1 to the power of 25. So this is 8 divided by 25. 8 divided by 7, remainder 1. And here remainder is 1 to the power of 25. Answer is 1. That's the method for getting the reminders here. Okay, all of you with this, right? So these are the questions. Next example here in this case. One more example. My question is, say 3 to the power of 50 divided by 11 is the question, and the question is to find the remainder. Type 1 question. If you observe, why type 1? Because 3 and 11 both are co-primes as we discussed it, right? So what I should do, friends? 3 power 1 is 3, 3 power 2 is 9, 3 power 3 is 27, 3 power 4 is 81, 3 power 5 is 243, 3 power 6 is something like 729, and so on it goes like that. Now what is your divisor, friends? The divisor is what? 11, and the remainder will be inclusive 0 to 10. From 0 to 10 it could be anything as a remainder. So check the number which is very close to 11. I can say this number is very close to 11, but please understand, between 9 and 11 the difference is 2. If you remember my previous example, I said very clearly, you should select the number which should give you difference as 1. Difference as 1. So here the difference is 2, so I cannot go with 9. So what I should do? Search for the number which is a multiple of 9, multiple of 11 but close to 11. For example, 242. If you look at this number 242, this number is a multiple of 11. 242 is a multiple of 11. So if I target 242, 243 will be only with one difference. So since 9 and 11 have 2 as difference, I should not take 9. Search for the number which is at least close to multiple of 11 but difference is only 1. So if I target 242, 243 will give you a difference as only 1. Remember that. So here I'll convert now in the form of 3 power 5. So can I write this one as 3 power 5 whole to the power of 10 divided by 11 or not? Now this is 243. I know 242 is exactly divisible. So 243, this is 243 whole to the power of 10 divided by 11. So this should give you a reminders, my friends. So what is the remainder ultimately? 1 to the power of 10. Answer is 1. 243, 242 is exactly divisible. 243 gives remainder 1. So therefore 1 to the power of 10 is 1 as a remainder. Okay. So these are the type 1 questions, and I want to do some more questions on type 1 that will continue in our next video. Till then, keep practicing these kind of questions. Thank you all.